Hello, everyone, and today they signed Bene Benwikere. But before that, I'm gonna go over just why they're signing a corner in general. So obviously, when Holton Hill got hit with four more games on suspension, so he effectively misses half of the year. We kind of saw them just start working out corners. Scandrick, Dexter, McDonald, and Morris Claiborne. Scandrick already signed with Philly, and I think the reason why some people are kind of disappointed they were actually looking at corners, but the depth itself isn't there as much as you would think. Just because Holton Hill, he showed flashes last year. He looked like he might be a good, solid player coming down the line, but he's missing half the year. Mike Hughes tore an ACL, and he's not even practicing yet. And now the names that are behind those top three aren't really inspiring when you take out those two. You have Chris Boyd, Craig James, Nate Meters, Duke Thomas, and now Bene Benwikere. And yeah, it's not very inspiring when you throw out those other names, which is why they were looking at corners in general. And it's kind of been a minute since, corner depth has been an issue for this team. And now it's looking like a good reason that a good thing that they didn't deal Waynes in a trade, because then otherwise we would be looking at probably Chris Boyd as a starting outside corner, and probably for quite a bit of games. So what I do think we could see, regardless of this Benwikere signing, is I think we might see kind of what we thought we last year, what we might have seen, which is the three safety looks. And instead of just rotating the corners like normal due to the depth issues, and because we know they like Curse as a kind of like this tight end cover kind of player. They like to put him in the nickel. Sometimes they like to put him on tight ends. They were looking at putting him as a linebacker in some areas, and I've read, I haven't seen, but I have read that Marcus Epps has looked good in the practices, and he's kind of this nickel safety hybrid type. So could be a potential option in there. But now to Bene Benwikere. He's been in the league since 2014. He doesn't really have great numbers, but he has okay, like fine kind of numbers. Like for his career, he has 3 picks, and he has 25 pass deflections over his career, 3 forced fumbles. He's got 1.5 sacks, and he's got some tackles for losses in there as a corner, which is kind of nice. Especially last year, he had 7. No, wait, he did not. I read this wrong. Sorry, that's his total for his career. But yeah, he has some physicality to him. Like he's a physical corner, but not a great cover guy. His PFF grades would show that, which are he had a 55.4 coverage grade and a 74.0 run defense grade, which gave him an overall of 61.4, which is meh. And so should provide some pretty good depth. And Trey Waynes is kind of in a similar category where he is a better cover guy than Bene Benwikere here, but kind of similar in the sense where he's going to come up and tackle people. But he should be just decent depth that could be needed. And I think he's probably competing with Chris Boyd in terms of being the first corner off the bench in the first month of the year-ish, depending on when Mike Hughes can come back. And that would be that. So I'm not expecting much from Benwikere. Kind of be like this 4th or 5th corner and kind of provide depth because you need it. There's no guarantee he even makes the roster, as he played on 2 teams last year, and he's kind of been lackluster since a certain Falcons receiver got 300 yards on him. But overall, I think this is a decent signing. They didn't sign Claiborne, who's a much better corner, just because I don't know if you guys read it or saw it anywhere, but also suspended 4 games this year. And the reason why they didn't do that is obviously you don't replace a suspended corner with another suspended corner. So otherwise, I think they would have been all in on Claiborne. But, this is where we are now. I would like to know your guys' thoughts and comments down below. Until next time, I've been Jelly Dude.